And we are back here in Pittsburgh, where it's rained harder this morning than it ever did at any point in last night's rain delay. I'm Kevin McAlpin with 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, and we're getting you set for the Braves and the Buccos. It's the finale of this three-game set. Braves enter 33-28 on the season. They're a game and a half back of the first place Phillies. Pirates 29-31 as they even this series at a game apiece last night. Braves are looking for their fourth consecutive road series win, and overall, things have been pretty kind to the Braves here lately. They've won 6 of their last 7 series overall. The only blip on the radar was that sweep at the hands of the Washington Nationals back at SunTrust Park last week. Now, the Braves have been really good in rubber matches this season as well. They enter 5-1 in such contests here in 2019. The big problem for the Braves is the pitching staff. They've allowed 12 runs in the first 2 games of this series against a fourth-place Pittsburgh Pirates ball club. So they need Mike Foltynewicz not only to throw more strikes today, but to get deep into a ball game. Yesterday, we know that Kevin Gausman really struggled early on, but as the Braves had to do, they had to let him wear it last night. Max Fried only went 4 innings in Game 1 here on Tuesday, so the last thing the Braves needed to do was turn that game over to the bullpen in the 3rd or 4th inning. So Gausman, on a night where he didn't have anything working, he didn't have his fastball, he didn't have his splitter, he was at least able to give them 5 innings, so the bullpen should be in pretty good shape here for this afternoon's series finale. How about Dansby Swanson? Another homer for Dansby last night in the 9th inning, as the Braves did make things interesting. They fell 7-4 in Game 2 of this series. They did go back-to-back as well, as Ronald Acuna Jr. hit a home run. Dansby Swanson followed with his 13th homer of the season. He's now 1 away from his career high of 14, which he set last year, and his 13th last season didn't come until all the way at the end of August. So Dansby certainly on a torrid pace here in 2019. He's hit safely in 15 of his last 16 games, batting .319 with 7 homers over that span. And again, as I mentioned, he's 1 away from tying his career tie in homers of 14, which he set last season in 2018. How about Brian McCann and Nick Markakis? They're inching closer and closer to some career milestones, each getting closer to closing in on 1,000 career RBI. Nick Markakis needs 2, Brian McCann needs 7. And when you think back to the history, we all know, of course, Hank Aaron is the all-time RBI leader here with 2,297. So still a lot of work for them to catch the great, legendary Hank Aaron. As I mentioned, Mike Foltynewicz gets the ball here today in the series finale. It's his 5th career start against the Pirates, his first since 2017. He dropped his first 3 decisions head-to-head against the Pittsburgh Pirates until he earned his first win back on May the 22nd of 2017. And overall, entering play this afternoon, the Braves rotation has logged 332 1/3 innings this season. That's the fewest in the National League East. So if the Braves want to be competitive and they want a chance to repeat as division champs, the starters definitely need to get deeper into ball games. And again, 332 1/3 innings pitched this season for Brave starters. That's the least in the National League East. Folty told me yesterday he's been working on his slider, especially burying it down and into left-handed hitters. Look for that to be a play for him today. And also last season, if you recall, a big focus for him with his fastball was working it more in on right-handers. And sometimes that's tough for guys when it has a tail, late action on their fastball, to trust they're not going to hit guys. I think he made strides on that last season. Hasn't been as successful this year, so look for Folty as well to work on that fastball into right-handers and the slider down back foot to left-handed hitters. Coming into today, Chris Archer, he's 2-5 on the season. He's got a .566 earned run average, 4 earned on 5 hits and 7 innings pitched in his last start against the Milwaukee Brewers last Friday night. Overall, it's his 3rd career start against the Braves. He's winless in those 2 outings despite allowing just 2 earned runs in 10 innings career pitched against the Atlanta Braves. So again, it's a couple of right-handers. It's Mike Foltynewicz. It's Chris Archer. It's a 12:35 p.m. first pitch with Ben Ingram and Jim Powell right here on 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Braves jump on the bird and head to South Florida after this one, a 3-game weekend series against the suddenly surging Miami Marlins. How about the numbers that the Marlins offense is putting up here lately? If you may have missed this, they put up 16 on the Brewers the other night. They beat them up again in Milwaukee last night. They'll wrap up their series this afternoon, so these 2 teams will have a little race to see who gets to Miami quicker here later on this evening. But again, first things first, it's the Braves and the Buccos. It's Game 3. It's the rubber match. Braves have been good in rubber matches this year, and they'll look to continue that trend here in the series finale at 12:35 p.m. Eastern right here on 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.